Good morning, everybody. Actually, good afternoon, and many thanks, Laura. It's just for giving a very short introduction about the project and the objectives of it. We think that public procurement can be a very important leverage for developing innovative solutions. As you know, public procurement represents 15% of the EU GDP. Its potential is very largely unexploited in relation to the development of innovative solutions. One of the problems lies with the, let's say, the capacity and the specific skills of public buyers in running this type of projects. That's why we have launched this program, which covers two different types of training. One is online, as today's training, and a second type of training which lasts 1 week and it is on site. As Lara was saying, there are 4 issues of the online training every year and 2 issues of the on-site training every year. The program so far is extremely successful because it really provides to participants the necessary competences in order to deal and to run public procurement of innovation projects. Of course, the online training tends to, let's say, provide just a brief introduction and is essentially aimed at higher level of management decision makers, while the second level, the one on site, is essentially devoted to operational level people. Without any further ado, since we have 2 great speakers, I would like to give back the floor to Laura and wish you a very nice webinar.
Thank you very much, Ivo. And just for today, for this occasion, and given that one major initiative from DigiGrow has just started, and you are a community which is fully committed and interested to hear about and to learn more about innovation procurement, we have invited our mates, let's say, from our initiative from the Innovation Procurement Hubs. As I said before, it has just started and it aims to enhance innovation procurement by providing public authorities too with the resources, the guidance, and to conform a collaborative network to effectively engage with innovative enterprises and startups in different territories. So thank you very much, Ioannis. We wish you a successful program and good luck with your endeavors. And the floor is yours. Please let us know about your innovation procurement hubs.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you everyone for this time. I won't take too much of your time. My name is Yannis Zorbas. As Laura mentioned, I'm the operative lead of the Innovation Procurement Hubs program. I'm sure many of you that are participating in this webinar may already be aware of it, but in case you are not, I would like just to give you a little bit of a brief introduction to the program and what it is about. Again, it's a program that is being sponsored by DigiGrow, and it's aimed at helping public administrations across the European Economic Area establish the practices and use the tools and contextualize innovation procurement into their own framework. We all know, we all understand that in certain cases across Europe, despite the willingness of public authorities to boost innovation and to use public procurement as an engine for economic growth and for bringing innovation into the public sector, bringing this into action and taking all the tools, taking all the practices, taking all the directives and the guidelines, and putting them together effectively and successfully is often far from straightforward. And that's exactly what our program is here to address. It's a practical, hands-on support initiative aimed at helping public administrations create or enhance their own innovation procurement hubs in 4 ways. Essentially, what we do, first of all, is that we are building an innovation procurement ecosystem map. There is already one that has been established in the context of the European Commission. We are building upon it and complementing that map in a way that makes it much clearer on who is doing what in the space of innovation procurement across Europe, and helps us understand what are the particular challenges, the most effective good practices, and what are the potential connections between peers across the European Union and the European Economic Area. The second part is that we are trying to identify the most relevant and most critical issues that we need to address and design tailored support packages for those public administrations that, as I said before, are willing to build or enhance their innovation procurement hubs. And these packages include direct consulting, peer learning exchanges, and guidance materials that contain replicable models based on our learnings and our experience through this direct consulting support throughout the program. It's a long program, it's 4 years, so we will distill best practices that are contextualized for the future. Of course, we have established a community of practice that brings all the members and all the interested parties together to connect, exchange ideas and challenges, and learn from one another. And we are also designing a strategy for what we call a co-publishing space. The co-publishing space is a digital platform that will allow public buyers to communicate innovation needs and challenges early and engage suppliers across borders centrally, so that we can help shape a more collaborative innovation ecosystem. This is in a very short nutshell, let's say, what we are trying to do. As I said, we have our community of practice established. We have also launched our mapping survey, so the Innovation Procurement Ecosystem Mapping Survey. And we have also had a first introductory webinar, which we have recorded. I will be posting the links to all three in the chat, so you can find them there. And we look forward to seeing you as part of our community. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Laura, for the time, and good luck with the rest of the webinar.
Thank you very much, Ioannis. We would encourage everyone to follow and stay tuned to the Innovation Procurement Hubs initiative. We are working closely also with Ioannis and his team in order to explore synergies and do not overlap. We remember that Procure Innovation EU is focused on the training, and Innovation Procurement Hubs is more focused on implementation measures. So stay tuned. It's a very promising initiative and will bring a lot of benefits for the innovation procurement community. So now it's time to move on to the content of this proper webinar. A lot has been said, but we aim to train and bring capacity building to procurement professionals across Europe and to mobilize the economy and growth of the companies too. We are a consortium. The consortium that is running Procure Innovation EU is formed by Silo, which is an advisory firm that brings personalized services to institutions in the fields of science and innovation policy, and Escuela 21, that it's our partner that brings extensive experience underpinning the development of training courses for professionals. We do have 2 levels, as Ivo has mentioned. This is level 2. We offer webinars covering different aspects related to innovation procurement in the form of 1-hour online workshop. And we have also level 1, which is an extensive executive program of 5 days with costs fully covered that this year is going to be organized in Vienna in Austria from the 16th till the 20th of June. Just for your information, registration will be open till the 24th of April. So everyone which is interested can apply and will be selected, providing that they comply with the eligibility and the selection criteria. We have room for 30 participants, so it's there for you. So today, coming to the content, this webinar, we aims to empower public procurers to explore how innovative solutions developed by external suppliers can address their challenges and how demand-driven innovation may transform the public sector and bring opportunities for SMEs. We will feature the Safe State pilot case in Poland, which highlights practical tools and lessons from real-life procurement projects. And we trust that you will value this practical experience too. As speakers, we have Jorge González. He is director of Ticbiomed, a cluster of e-health, and he's key advocate for impactful innovation in healthcare, bringing extensive expertise in guiding successful innovation adoption, also evaluator from European Commission proposals. And also Dr. Marcin Kautsch. He's lecturer and researcher in public health and healthcare management, and he's known for his work in innovative procurement and consultancy for health authorities across Europe. So practicalities, as you have been warned, the workshop is being recorded, and that record will be used for broadcasting and dissemination through our channels. If you don't want your image or voice to be recorded, you can always leave your camera off during the workshop. And if you wish to ask a question, you can do so via the chat. So that would be all from my side for the moment. I leave the floor to Jorge to explain how Link PPI can help us, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Laura. If I can get my presentation. Yes, let me introduce myself. I'm Jorge González. I'm the director of Ticbiomed. We are a non-for-profit located in Spain. We originally focus a lot in health, but what I'm going to talk today is not focused on health. Okay, I want to give some vision of what we have, how we have been doing things, but what we are saying is completely horizontal to any area. Next. So why are we here? Okay, why do we do things? Why do we do innovation procurement? Why do we do demand-driven innovation? Okay, what we want is to solve innovation challenges. Okay, so the thing is that we start with the public organization. We call it the challenger, the organization that has the problem, and we put that organization into the driving seat. Okay, it is not that suppliers trying to sell their solutions, which is perfectly fine. Here we have the other way around. Okay, we start with the challenges, with the needs of a public organization in this case, and what we want is to turn them into business opportunities. Okay, so it's a win-win between the public organization and the supplier, and it's a win-win-win because we also want society in general, in particular in Europe, benefit from that, because ideally the supplier pays more taxes because it has more jobs, it grows, and then that also comes to the public organization which have more budget. And the idea, this is the hope, the goal, that we have this reinforcing circle that we get better because the public organization improves their services, the company generates growth and wealth, and the society benefits in general. Next. So just to be clear, in the concept, in innovation, you can conceptualize innovation like technology push. Very legitimately, the suppliers try to sell you their stuff. We are going to talk today about demand-driven. Again, it is the demand, the sometimes called the procurers. I personally hate that name because it puts public organization just the guides as they put the money on the table. I prefer to call them the challengers, okay? But so we are going to start with you putting the challenges on the table. Next. So what is the prototypical life cycle of demand-driven innovation, at least from our side? Everything starts with a need identified, an opportunity, a challenge, a bottleneck, something you want to improve, or a pain that you want to avoid. Usually in the process, you say, okay, is this need already solved in the market, for example? So then there is an open market consultation where you engage with the ecosystem and they either tell you, yes, this is solved, so you just need to go and get it, or no, but you need to take into account what is the current state of the art of the technology or what could be done in terms of increasing the value of when solving the need. Then, in our experience, the initial need, we call them like this, a raw diamond, okay? After what you do the market consultation, you have more information, you engage also with the stakeholders in the organization, and then you define what we call a challenge, which is something that you can show to the ecosystem, okay? Because usually first time in the needs, you basically speak to yourself, you use your own jargon, it's things that basically are very well understood internally, but not for someone that is not in your organization, and if they don't understand you, they cannot help you. So once you have defined the challenge, then you look for suppliers, okay? Usually through a call, okay? Who is there to help me? Then you select that partner, and when I put their partner, is because it's going to move from a supplier into someone that is going to help you with the co-creation. Okay, so the relationship is not going to be subcontractive, which is a lot of the times the relationship between public administration and a supplier is kind of I tell what I want, I pay you, and you do what I want. Here is that you both work into solve that need, that challenge, okay, because it's on benefit of both. And you have a different relationship, a partnership relationship. And you do that in what is usually called a co-creation. Both of you work in the solution. One of them with the requirements, also for the testing, and the other for developing usually a technology. Then you evaluate the solution, and the typical path will be for public organizations, the ones that put the need on the table, say, to adopt it, to take it, to deploy it, to scale it. Okay, I put there a question mark. We will come back to that later. Okay, but this is the typical life cycle. There can be variations, but as you can see, we start on the need and identification, we co-create the solution, and then the idea that we deploy it after the co-creation. If, remember, we are talking about innovation, things can go wrong, okay? Maybe the solution is not good enough, or the market, it is not exactly what solves the problem, which is also learning, and you can wait, or you can try a different approach. Next. So there are a lot of ways to implement this model. What I mentioned before is an approach, okay? Here is a concrete example of an instrument, in this case, an European instrument, it comes from a project. For those that know about it, is a coordination and support action, okay? And what we are doing here, this instrument funds this approach in this way, okay? If we do a selection of public organizations, if you are selected with your challenge, then we give 10,000 euros. When we go and look for that supplier, once we have it, we give also the public organization 10,000 euros. Then it starts the co-creation, okay? They both look for a solution. Here, the bulk of the money goes to the supplier side. And then, very important, and this is kind of new in other programs, we also support economically the legal expertise, so to write a tender. Because what we want, and this is our experience, the majority of the co-creation turns them into successful solutions, okay? And if it is successful, what it makes sense is that whoever asks for it now gets it, okay? After all the effort, all the money, and all the support given. Procurement is not part of the project, but this is our aspiration. This project is ongoing. There is no further opportunities to join the project. We are now in the co-creation, and we looking forward to see what is the results of the pilots that we have promoted through Innovire, and what happens afterwards. Next. I mentioned about instruments. Now I tell you that there are also a lot of resources. We actually here, and now I guess we will be sharing the PowerPoint here in that hyperlink. You can find a library that we have created with a lot of, we have more than 400 resources. We have documentation, we have examples of challenges. We have websites, we have past European projects, 400 resources, all open, free, public. Next. So you may say, okay, for example, we usually do pilots that are 60,000 euros, 9 months, very quick, very lean. That's the title. They are kind of a lean PPI, okay? Get to the chase, minimum overheads. And you have, okay, how can a 60,000 euros change my organization? It's not going to change, usually for good. Because what matters here, and why you want, in our opinion, why you want to get into this kind of a small projects with linear approach, is not the impact of each particular pilot. That is not going to change organization. What is going to change organization is the culture, the mindset that you will generate in your organization, but creating innovation opportunities systemically and systematically. Okay. What happens with this Lean PPI is that instead of going from 0 to 100 with other instruments, we just go in a stepwise. You get to test how this demand-driven approach looks like, if it does for you. And if it is, then you can go to more complex, with more money, more time instruments. Next. So what we are going to do now, we are going to, Marcin is going to tell us a concrete example of what one of the pilots of Innovire. We believe it's a success story. So Marcin, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Let me turn things on. Okay, hello everybody. I'm pleased to be able to share some experience that we got within this program. Since I don't have too many slides, let me just tell you a longer story. And this is a story about being persistent and being open to new things. This hospital I'm showing you now is a hospital in the north of Poland. And 3 years ago, they had no idea about innovative procurement. When I got a proposal to participate in another one, which is Procure for Health, I told them, why don't you do that? Let's try it. And I think this is a hospital that really used that project a lot in a positive sense. One is that they, for instance, got this project that I'm going to talk about, but they also now involved in other projects. So it's, from my perspective, a very good example of when you start doing things, when you start learning, when you start being open, then a lot of nice things happened. Okay, so the picture you can see is a picture of the hospital. This is pretty large, at least for Poland. It's some 700 beds, I believe. And this is a leader in the region. Olsztyn is a not too big town. It's a provincial town, but not too big town, the north of Poland. This is a region is called the green lungs of Poland. So a lot of lakes, a lot of green areas, and they are there being a kind of a university hospital, let's put it this way, and serving also other people in other hospitals, leading the whole province in healthcare. I just put there in the bottom of the slide the mission, which is patient first. It's not maybe very innovative mission or very unusual mission for healthcare, but I would like to stress it to show you how it works in practice. Thank you, and let me just have another slide. Right. Since you are involved in healthcare, you know that patients could cause a lot of problems if they are not carefully managed and carefully taken care of in the hospital. And in this case that I'm going to talk about is about patients who visit the hospital or patients who come to the hospitals for some sort of outpatient procedure, a visit or a test or whatever else. And since they are usually elderly, since they usually have some difficulties moving around, they quite often need extra care. And this extra care means that somebody has to stop doing things that he or she is doing. Usually it is a nurse. Sometimes this person needs to find a doctor to check whether everything is okay, and then provide some sort of a help and assistance to the person. So like a wheelchair or even a bed, something like that. And regrettably, the system in which we live in Poland does not provide any funds for these things. So if out of the sudden you have to do things that are not in your schedule, you have to do that. And these things happen very often. And our public purchase of healthcare services does not differentiate that. It does not pay for an extra thing. So we decided that we are going to somehow address that, and we applied to in a buyer, and we're successful in winning the grant. And we suggested that the problem that we have, and we also believe that this is a problem of other hospitals, is the case that I just told you about. So we applied, we got the grant, and we're just following something that Jorge just showed you, the steps that he presented. Next slide, please. Here you have numbers. So you can see we have quite many people that come. This is a big hospital, and quite many of them need some sort of support. And it really goes into numbers, like you have at least 100 people that may need that support. Of course, not every day these things happen, but there's always a risk that they'll happen, and then people, especially nurses, would be distracted from what they do, and will be really under the stress, will be under, if they had to find a doctor, as I mentioned, they had to find the wheelchair. The wheelchair is not usually is not there when they left them, etc., etc. So this is really pretty complicated. It's a disruption that really causes quite a lot of problems. It's not life-threatening, but it's like a lot of things on very minor thing. That's why we said that we would like to have some sort of equipment that supports mobility, and we didn't exclude other options, though we believe that it should be the wheelchair. If anyone came to us and said, we are going to give you drones, probably would say, why not? But in this case, I think that was more strictly on wheelchairs. Okay, next slide, please. And this is the solution. We are paired with a solver, and we ran through the piloting stage of this project. And what you can see here now is how it looks. I'm going to show you a short film in a moment. So it's here just to tell you how it works. There's a docking station, there are wheelchairs, there's a tablet-like thing that you can talk to. You simply insert your phone number to get the wheelchair, and the wheelchair is then free to you for 3 hours, and in 3 hours expect you to put it back. These wheelchairs are equipped with the lock, so you just cannot take it and go somewhere. They are also equipped with GPS and RFID systems. So if somebody wants to steal the wheelchair, we will know that things like this is happening. So for now it was enough. People knew that they should not do that, so we didn't have the problems with theft. We also can see in the buildings, as I said, because of this RFID system, though this was pretty expensive to cover the whole hospital area. So we said that, okay, we will just install these systems next to the lifts. Because if you are, let's say, on floor 3, we don't need to know exactly where you are, but we know that the wheelchair is on floor 3. You log to the system in a very easy way. You have to provide your phone number. And as you're aware, phone numbers are strictly linked to you. So if you provide a phone number, we know that you are the owner of the phone. So if you somehow are able to steal it or destroy it or something, we have a track record of who took this wheelchair as last one. So if there's any damage, for instance, after some sort of usage, then we know who used it recently. Okay, next slide, please. Right. We did a survey. As you can see here, this was not like a big survey, because it was still a pilot and things. We talked to 30 patients, talked to 30 staff members, and we were pretty pleased with what we saw. Because initially we believed that if the increase in the satisfaction would be of 30%, it would be a success. So we hope that 30% more would be okay. As you can see, the success was much bigger than that. Compared to what was before to what was during the pilot, the numbers are completely different. Almost all patients that we asked were very happy. about the use of the wheelchair and the possibility of doing that. The staff maybe less than that, but still quite high, 84%. Next slide, please. Yeah, and there's a film. It lasts just 55 seconds, so don't worry. I'm not going to force you to watch it for like the next minutes or so. Okay, so this is the installation. It was in October last year. There was a call of a sort of a grand opening. We invited people from other hospitals. Okay, I hope I'm back. And here you can see now how it is being used. This is very simple. You just go there, put your phone number, unlock it, sit down, etc. This is designed especially in a way that you have to have somebody to help you. So we don't count on you to doing that. We want you to have somebody with you. So we are sure that this wheelchair does not need any extra push from other people. This is simply your family member or your beloved one who helps you with that. It is also very important that there is somebody extra to do that, because this station is located next to the entrance of the hospital and next to the entrance to the emergency unit. So you cannot just park your car there and use it. You have to park your car someplace. Then your carer will get the wheelchair, go to the car, put you into the wheelchair, use it for 3 hours, and then put you back to the car. We simply wanted to avoid any crisis, any problems when there's like let's say some sort of an accident and we had to provide care, and we have a lot of cars standing next to that. So that was done on purpose, that there has to be somebody to help you. Of course, in this way, we do not solve all the problems of the hospitals, but we believe that we sorted out some of them. Next slide, please. Okay, there's some problem with that. All right, good. This was pretty easy in the sense that it was not a big project. We were deciding about what to do. Usually when you apply for funds from the European Commission, you have to have consortia. You have to really talk to many partners. You have to negotiate with them everything, which is also good. I'm not negating that. I'm just saying that this is, let's say, quite a level of difficulty. So it takes a lot of time. In this case, we applied for that. The organizers provided us with the solver. There were 3 of them that got access to that. We chose one, and then we're working with them. So I have to say that on the side of the organizers, so people like Jorge and other, that was really a lot of help. So if you are starting, if you think like you don't know how to do that, I think that initiatives similar to that are really very useful, because you don't have to worry about many things. First of all is finding a company that really has something to say and can provide something innovative. And I'm saying that because as I participate also in other projects, we usually have innovative procurement project. We usually have quite a lot of problems attracting potential solvers. You have to call them, you have to mail them a couple of times, and usually they do not understand what we want for them, and usually they don't really care. So at least this is my experience for some three previous projects. So in this scenario, you have everything, almost everything given to you, and if you follow what Jorge presented, you really are fine. We believe that the pace of that is really adequate. Actually, in case of this hospital, it was a bit maybe too slow, because we were able to be always, long before deadline. But I'm saying that because of the specificity of this project. So as you can see, this is not something very complicated, or it didn't require a lot of tests, etc., etc. So from that perspective, this was from us. It was a bit too long, But I bet that Jorge will tell you stories how other people were striving to meet the deadline. So that's why I would say that this is adequate. For a project like that, for similar project, this is really adequate. There was a lot of problems with that, but this is, I would say, normal. When I hear stories and everybody says that everything was okay from day zero, to the last one, I have some curiosity, like, no, how did they do that? I usually have to strive that. I usually have to fight against everything and everybody. So there were problems, and because this was a pilot, we were able to provide feedback, and the supplier were, the suppliers were able to fix these problems or propose some of the solutions. So all in all, though it was, as I said, a bit painful in the beginning, we saw the progress. So the beginning was not too good, and then each week we saw the progress. We saw that it is being developed better and better. Since this is not like a regular procurement, you just go to the shop and buy things. It requires that piloting, and we were given the chance to pilot that. So despite of this first impression, like, oh, why did you do that at all? Then we saw that it is really working. And what we liked is that it was not only the hospital CEO she was happy, oh, we have another innovative project, but we were surprised that people from the staff members were also using them. As I said, there's like emergency unit next to the station. There's also another unit, oncology unit on the other side of the station. So we saw people like paramedics or nurses who just needed the wheelchair for, let's say, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. And they didn't have to look for that in the whole hospitals and, being very stressful because somebody needs care now. They simply went there, they used their phones, click, 3 minutes, put it back, and you're done. So we got a very good feedback from both paramedics and oncological nurses that this is really working, and they are pleased and they are very thankful that something like this took place. So despite of this, I'm just keeping repeating about these problems, not to discourage you, but to encourage you. You don't expect that it's going to work perfectly from day zero. There will be problems, but the effect is very satisfactory. Hospital at the moment secured some funds and is going to announce the launch, let's say, standard tender later this year. And when I say later, I'm talking like May, June. I'm not talking maybe some last day of December, really May, June. They should launch it. Now we know that this is simple. Now we know what could be also improved. Our dream would be that this wheelchair will talk to you. So if you say, I need to see my oncologist or I need to see my gynecologist, then the system will check who you are, the system will check where you need to go and will guide you. So not only you will be, somebody will push you to the place where you need to be, but this will be guided. This is a huge hospital, as you saw. Usually hospitals are pretty complicated, different floors, different levels, not this way, the other corridor. So we believe that at the end of the day, we could have something that would really serve well and is going to have additional value, like people will not be asking, we will not keep asking the hospital staff, where is ward this or where is the clinic that, which is also very destructive because people simply don't know. They don't know the building. They are under the stress. They are in the hospitals. They can expect that something wrong can happen to them. They are afraid of their health. So they are very, very, sometimes even if the instructions are clear from the staff, they can't find a way. So if something is going to tell them where to turn here and here, I think that is going to be really, really worth of that. And I think this is the last slide. Yes. So thank you for your attention. I'll be happy. I saw that there was a question, so I'll be happy to take these questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Marcin. So maybe hope that a lot of you are jealous about what has been done in Marcin's hospital. So for those that would like to follow the path, here we have some instruments and some opportunities that you can follow. Can you have the next slide, please? So one of them is InnoMatch. okay, you can think of InnoMatch a kind of a follow-up of InnoBuyer, okay? So here we have a very similar approach. The only difference, well, some of the difference is that the public organization, they don't receive any money. Oh, not our fault, okay? We didn't design the instrument. But, and then the second constraint is that you need to collaborate with the EIC, okay? And EIC is European Innovation Council, okay? It's a, basically they are the top-notch companies, suppliers in Europe. It's a super competitive process to become an EIC beneficiary. And that will be the partner you will have to work with if you are accepted in the InnoMatch project, okay? It has different approaches, but basically all of them, at the end of the day, they have a challenge. There is an execution, the pilot, there is an evaluation, and then what we hope is that obviously the public organization putting the challenge on the table will adopt it, and the company will commercialize it. Okay, this is here in the QR. There is also the web page of the InnoMatch. I strongly advise you to have a look. It's completely horizontal. Any sector can apply. And what we, as Marcin was mentioning, we will deliver a lot of support. Okay, so again, here is approximately 9 months. 12 months of execution, usually less because of the summer and Easter and so on. But as I say, very short period just to test if it works. Usually the projects are small because of the amounts and the time frame. But please, the next slide. What is important, at least from our view, is the learning. As Marcin was saying before, they have never done, well, they have had some experience, but it was not a huge experience in their organization. So what we want to get with this kind of lean PPI project, leaner project, is that to generate a systemic approach towards demand-driven innovation, okay? Maybe Marcin in the questions can tell you how the culture has changed, how the hospital now is more willing to do new opportunities, okay? And again, the final goal is to have an innovation-friendly culture within the organization. And there you can start very quick, very ambitious, fair enough, but also you can use other instruments to do your first baby steps, see if that is for you, and then get bigger in the next ones. Next. This is InnoSupport is yet another opportunity funded from the European Commission to get training. This is called InnoSupport. We have opportunities here. We have funding. This is not exactly training. What we are doing, though there is a training model, the one that we as Ticbiomed we are leading is most hands-on capacitation. Next. By the way, Silo is the coordinator of InnoSupport. Okay, so again, there are different parts in InnoSupport, but the one I want to stress today is that we are going to deliver hands-on coaching. What does it mean? That instead of telling you how things should be and how things you should do, you are going to do it with our support. Okay, there has 6 modules. Okay, if you remember that life process. Here we will start with the strategic planning. That should be the first step, where and why the organization wants to go. Okay, then we can help you to identify those unmet needs, to make a screening, a recruitment of the unmet needs and the challenges, and then we will also help you to filter them and to prioritize them. Open market consultation, you saw there. Okay, you have the needs. Okay, what's the state of the art? How can we, turn this raw diamond into something that is very polished, that then you can present and create it, a project, a pilot that is going to solve it. Everybody cares about funding. We will also help you to find external sources of funding. We will help you with the tendering process and with the contract management. Okay, this is all 100% paid by the European Commission. That means that it has been paid with your taxes. So it's up to you if you want to take advantage of this or you just want to wait to the next edition, which will be charged because it will be outside of the project. So I strongly encourage you to have a look, okay? InnoSupport, sorry, yes, and you have the website there. We have an ongoing process of recruitment. You can get into this right away. Next. Now, innovation procurement. This is the right time for innovation procurement. Not sure how much you know about the European, the European landscape of policy, but if you have heard about the Draghi report and the EITO report, innovation procurement is explicitly mentioned, meaning that probably the European Commission will put more funds, and hopefully also that drills down into the national and even the regional level. For those that know, probably you know the Draghi report is about the future of European competitiveness. The EITO report is not so well known. It is more about the research and innovation policies and future that likely Europe should follow, especially the European Commission. So again, with the LETA report, these are the three main reports that the European Commission has produced in the last month, and both of them mention it. And I was the other day in a conference where there was also LETA, and I'm sure that he's also aligned with these things. So this is the right time and the right opportunity for those that want to get deeper into innovation procurement, because what we said before about the funding, our expectations is that there will be much more funding, much more support from the coming days, which I think is a good news for everybody. Next. Now, Ticbiomed, health, we have two hats. One hat is health, but the other hat is this demand-driven innovation, and in particular, what we call the initiative impactful innovation. Next. So I've shown you the typical life cycle, and you see at the end of the life cycle that we put adoption, uptake, deployment, whatever you want to call it, and we put a question mark. Why that question mark? Because what we see in a lot of different projects previous to Innovator, for example, is that most of the times the solution works. Okay, in our expertise, it's around 80%. So solutions typically work. Problem is what happens after the solution works and the project ends. Okay, it makes sense that the public organization that had the need and asked for the whole life cycle to start will adopt it. Well, what we see is that that doesn't really happen, that there is a valley of death of pilots, okay? And that we, in spite of the successful testing, piloting, there is no adoption. So what we are promoting next is that they say, guys, if we want adoption, we need anticipation, okay? We need, and this anticipation, we call it adoption touch points. We need to start to work in adoption from the very beginning. We need champion support, okay? We need someone in the board that says, yes, I'm going to support this. We need to connect with other parts of the organization, legal, procurement, IT, whoever is going to be a stakeholder, they need to get involved from the beginning, okay? Proof of commitment. Okay, for example, in Innovator and now in InnoMatch, we are asking for a signed letter of commitment, meaning if this works, I'm going to deploy. I'm going to launch a tender, which is Marcin has just said. Okay, they are going to launch a tender on this. Okay, because if we don't get serious, if innovation projects are only to pay salaries in the innovation unit or a toy from someone in the organization, this is a waste of time, it's a waste of public money, and it's a waste of opportunity for everybody. So we value a lot commitment, we from Ticbiomed, okay? That is critical, and that's our main selection criteria to join.
Sadly,
in our
I would
program.
have to ask you to speed up because we would
Right.
like to give some time for questions. So
sorry
to say that.
I get so passionate about it. So basically, this is what we want, okay? For adoption, you need anticipation, and we can help you. For example, in InnoMatch, we are in charge of making sure that there is adoption. Sorry, next. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing this opportunities to start with innovation procurement. This is there are no excuses if you are to start in the innovation procurement using the innovation procurement instrument. Again, the idea for today was to showcase another example or ways to approach innovation procurement, especially for the newcomers, for the ones that do not have a structure implemented at their organizations, so that there is a pool of support around there if you want to start. There are some cases where the systematic the infrastructure is already in place and they have their own procedures in rule. But yeah, we will have to stop now and we will analyze how to continue with this conversation, that productive conversations. We hope to see you in our next webinar very soon, and we will, as I said before, we will try to investigate ways to follow up this conversation. Remember to follow us in our LinkedIn account and our social media. Thank you so much, and we'll follow you a quality survey afterwards so that you can participate. Thank you so much to everyone. See you next time.